Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Yeah, third day. You just had some nice dry math, but a very relevant discussion about APC. This one's not necessarily going to be so relevant to our day-to-day jobs, but maybe a little bit more entertaining than talking about AFC and the future there. So, hi everyone. I'm Mike Lane from Extreme Networks. It's lovely to be here, my fourth WLPC. I'm doing a presentation on drones. I've been flying drones for many, many years, and I got the idea to propose this because the latest revision of DJI's OM3 Plus transmission system, it's their third OcuSync generation, it was really pushing the limits on range and interference mitigation and management. And I wanted to know more. I wanted a deep dive, and I've had some fun researching this. And what we're going to do, though, is I just bought this little FPV drone here last week. Literally have flown it 3 times in this conference room once. So this will be the second time I do it. But we thought it would be fun because we wanted to take a drone picture of everyone. I'm going to start this presentation off with a little drone flight, if everybody's okay with that. So speaking of everybody being okay with it, I'm just going to fly along the corridor here. So please try to avoid that corridor during the flight operations. I'm actually... And so I'm going to do my best not to fly over anybody's head. And so just know that this is the thing. If you're nervous about that or anything, maybe you just clear a path here. Otherwise, but there's not going to be any danger. It's fine. And then I'm just going to go out the door to show that I can, and then come back. So a short flight. I only have 10 minutes, so let's not waste too much time. Yeah. Okay. Again, this is I guess my 4th flight now ever. So let's see how this goes, huh? Why not? Okay, everybody sees what I'm doing? Okay, I have control with this little wand here, as well as my goggles. And I'm just gonna fly real slow because hey Fernay. And of course all this is being recorded. I can go much, much faster. For a moment I'll do that. These things go quite fast, 30, 40 miles an hour. Hello. No, you're fine. And then I'm just going to go outside. Everybody can see. Little sunshine. I'll go up a little bit. Come down. Terrorize this poor gentleman here. And go for a flight, which I'm now just at the edge of what would be considered legal, so I'm just going to come right back, because I don't have line of sight. So we just did that for a quick moment. We are on private property, but let's not violate any rules or regulations during a publicly recorded presentation. Please don't file any complaints with the FAA. All right, so that was fun. So I'd love to show you a lot more. There is much to see. But you know what I'm going to do? Let's make sure we get the whole crowd here. So everybody can be seen on this recording. Hello, everybody. Yay. Okay, I'm going to land because I really don't have a lot of time for this presentation. And this wasn't meant to be a flight demonstration, just how cool the technologies are and so on. So we'll let that land automatically. And he'll turn himself off, or her. And I'll just turn this guy off. Okay, so hi everybody. I have not too much more time. Honestly, I submitted this and I was hoping I'd get more than a 10-minute. Because this subject, there's been so much advancement in drone technology these last couple years. And especially with DJI. I'm not here to shill DJI at all. They've never given me anything. I owe them nothing. But I'm going to focus on DJI just because the rock-solid products that they're doing, and especially their transmission system, is quite sophisticated, and I'm quite impressed with it. So I'm only going to focus on that because it's a big market. They do own 70% of the global market share, so there's also that. So I'm going to focus on them. There's many other things that I would love to be presenting on. There's security. Do I have this? Okay, that should look good. There's security considerations. There's flight operations. There's mitigation. Anyone ever seen one of these EMP pulse cannons? Awesome. DJI, I mean, just in theory. There's something called Aeroscope, which is something built into their system that they can be tracked so that there is compliance. And there's a lot of controversy in war zones and things like that, like in Ukraine, for example. There's been specifically some friction between the Ukrainians and DJI and so on and so forth. Don't have time to get into any of that. Please feel free, as I only have 6 more minutes, to upvote me. I will submit another one. I can deep dive into the RF. I can break down and reverse engineer the proprietary protocol that I'm just only barely mentioning in this presentation. So that's my pitch on that. First slide, and I'm just going to go super fast because I don't have much time. I just want to point out that Nikola Tesla's first patent was approved in 1898 regarding unmanned vessels and vehicles. Then I want to just put out some of the verbiage because it's so important to us. We're all very much about the standards and getting the words right. So we refer to it as drone. Drone by the standards doesn't really mean anything, although since it's in common usage, it's in the de rigueur zone of terminology. It's commonly, when you're referring to a drone, you mean UAV. But officially, when it comes to all the standards bodies and all the regulatory bodies, UAV is the term for the actual aircraft. And then UAS is all of the components, including myself, the aircraft, and all the components, including the RF system, the transmission system, and so on. Okay? So super quick, that's some of the definitions. Then I'm going to shout out to my colleague, Carl Benedict, who had a wonderful presentation about design yesterday, and I loved this slide so much. What could be more dynamic than flying? So I would just suggest and that will lead right into my story about water. In his slide, which I couldn't get his background, he had a lot of churn, water churn, and that leads me to my next story. So I'm on a boat. Let me tell you about a flight experience I had, and yeah, I think you'll find this kind of entertaining. I'm a CWE, I should know what I'm doing, right? Yeah, this is not a story of me knowing what I'm doing. I had a wonderful day, and by the way, that's joke text. That's a real text about the absorptive properties of water, but don't read it. Some of you are going to be compelled to read it, I'm sure of it. But it's only there just to be kind of filler and kind of be a joke. This is just a story about one guy's experience, right? Not really a lesson about the physics so much. So I'm on a boat similar to this stock footage that I'm showing here, actually very similar to that. We've, friends of ours, we've had this big party, we rent this yacht. It's on the French-Spanish border. Beautiful day, sparkling seas, crystal clear blue water, absolutely gorgeous day, light winds, and I'm taking the most gorgeous shots you could imagine. I'm panning around, we're going along here, this is wonderful. Y'all know that there are safety features, right? Obstacle avoidance, return to home. Anybody unfamiliar with those features? Yeah. Don't work so well on the sea because you're moving. Didn't think of that because I'm so wowed with what I'm seeing on the screen. I'm so excited about, this is the most beautiful shots ever because water looks really good on drone cameras. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to take that. Water looks gorgeous. So I'm so amazed by the sexy videos that I'm taking and the photos that I'm taking that I just slightly allow the drone to get a little bit far away. We're talking about 500 meters, well within the range. I have no obstructions, I'm line of sight. It's about 5, maybe 5 meters above the water, 500 meters away when I lost all signal. And then I snapped out of photographer mode and then started thinking like a CWE. And I went, oh, maybe this isn't the right particular angle with all that water to actually get my transmission. So I lost it completely. There's literally no way because I no longer have flight controls. It's just sitting there dead and it has no return to home capability because I've moved. So what do I do? Wrap up this quick story. The captain was probably had, since he's been renting this boat, the captain's had situations like this before, so he keeps a little, I don't know what you call these onboard motor raft things, and we jump in one and we go rescue the drone, and in the moving water, I have to land my drone in my hand. Amazing experience, really learned a big lesson, so it pays to be a little conservative when flying drones. So I thought I'd tell you that story because it was one of those great lessons learned. So with no time left, I just want to say with the O3 system here, they're claiming 12, 15, even greater kilometer range for the FCC. and it is a proprietary protocol. And I really, really want to show you this. I took some Sidekick data from a flight that I took, just in case you haven't seen this before. Let's see if I can control the video properly. Oh, of course, it worked at home, but now I can't show you when I'm in presentation mode. Okay, well, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go just a little bit over if you don't mind. This is just me on channel 128. That's just me, that's my normal Wi-Fi connection. These DJI drones use Wi-Fi. When you go into flight mode, they just switch from Wi-Fi to their proprietary O3 transmission system. So this is me, I wish I could accelerate this, and then you're gonna start seeing a little something when I take off. That's it right there. So this is only in the 5 gigahertz I'm showing you now. Later in this video, I show the 2.4, because what I would like to explain in the time I have left is that they're using lots of tricks. Actually, this is if I do a presentation again, I'll tell you more about the details of these tricks. But they're doing 5.8, Uni 3, and 2.4. They're jumping channels all the time. As you can see, this is like FHSS. And they're doing very narrow band, but they can go anywhere between 1.5 megahertz to 40 megahertz dynamically. And they do it. And it's generally, the control traffic is on the 5.8, and then the video stream coming back is on the 2.4. So if I was to tell you anything, I wanted you to have that takeaway. This is the new DJI RC, which is the one I use at home. It has these tiny little antennas, and we're talking range of, I don't have the range specifics there, but with that EIRP max of 26 dBm and 20 dBm in my area of Europe, they're going very, very far. And that's fantastic. Then there's the Air unit, which is just a tiny little unit that is meant to go on third-party devices, and it also has these crazy 10-kilometer, 2-kilometer in my area range claims. Last slide here is, you all had a class and you talked about FAA. There's plenty of people here from, not from the FAA domain, and I just want to let you know that the EASA, which is a relatively new body since 2012, covers 32 countries, and it has just in the last few months finalized the standardization of the rules for all of Europe. Each and every country has its own domain, of course, but they have all standardized under these European rules. If you get your certifications for whatever classification you are, like especially if you're over 249 grams, right? And for whatever particular missions you intend to fly, once you get certified in that country, you actually can operate throughout the entire domain. So that's really cool. At the end of the day, you follow the rules, you know the rules, you follow the rules, you can really fly almost anywhere if you have the proper permission. So with that, I hope you have a great rest of your time, and I invite you to Prague, especially the Americans. Come to Prague. Beautiful Czech Republic. Okay. Thanks.